Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Let me close some of my objectionable materials here. Just gonna open up the music so that I can. Cool. Now there you can see my. Let's go get this windowed. See the final there. Let's get my own face here so that I don't keep looking at the side screen here. Always on top. Okay, yeah. So. Look, yeah, looks like I'm streaming the right thing. Let's put Mr. Robot a little bit softer here. Okay, so main reason I'm going live right now is I just thought that I made a colossal error on my main project, that I had a deadline wrong by an entire month. And I just had a meeting with the client. And I was looking at the API and I saw data coming through that was not supposed to be coming through until the 5th of September. Now, I've been having a little bit of a tough year. That would have made it a much tougher year. So anyway, I guess I'm just going to try and calm myself down a little bit now by doing some more space pew pew. So okay, so basically this is where we are on Space Pew Pew at the moment. We have two types of ships. They look the same, but they work completely different. So the one is, I've just retermed it Little Grey Men Tech, because in Star Control, the Little Grey Men were the Arilau. Nobody knows what the Arilau are. So basically the Arilau Larula Ray are they're sort of like the Little Grey Men in that universe. And then the other ship is sort of like propulsion based, which is what most of the ships do, right? So they use Newtonian physics. The other one, however, you'll see like the moment I hit any sort of key, it will actually like stop all, it'll stop its inertial motion and it'll just be fixed in absolute space. So yeah, so basically it's got like a very cool way of moving. At the moment it's a bit slow because I think I set the frame rate too high. I can quickly fix that. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look. Physics. Okay, so yeah, so the other thing is I did a post on the Elm discourse forum, just asking about what I'm terming upside down object inheritance. So upside down object inheritance, some people have already disagreed with me. You guys are welcome to keep disagreeing with me. Yeah, but upside down inheritance, I'm sure this is either a pattern or an anti-pattern. Somebody else must have stumbled across this before. It's just kind of like the idea that just like with inheritance, where we have common things that we need to do, it's sometimes a little bit tricky to get those common things done, right? So if you watched any of the stream previously, you probably would have seen that I had like multiple types of bodies, but they all had certain things in common, right? So they all had an ID, they all had a mass, they all had a position, they all had velocity, and they all had radius, right? But then they would have other things as well, like some of them had gravity, for instance. Right, the ships would have a rotation, which is how it's rotated at the moment, a rotation speed, which is how quickly it can rotate every time it sees an instruction to rotate, and then a propulsion type, right? So the propulsion was mainly just thrust. And then basically there were projectiles. So projectile had some amount of damage. If it hit something, it had a lifetime. So in other words, how many frames was it alive? So yeah, so I had different types for each of those things, but the problem was that when I started to so basically when I started to get the But basically, when I started to actually like work with a lot of objects in the space, I would have a list. I would have like a list of ships, and a list of um, projectiles, and a list of planets. The problem was that many of these things interact with each other. So in other words, it's possible for a ship, um, if you look here, basically, like it's possible for that, it's possible for the ship to collide with the planet. If we look at that, for instance, right? So if we look at that kind of thing, the ship can actually like hit the planet. Um, Hold on, right? And then the ship and the planet and everything are supposed to bounce off of one another. So the problem there was basically that what I was doing was I was actually like taking all of these common values, extracting them out of the list of ships, the list of projectiles, and the list of planets, which there was only one. But then I would take that stuff, I would see if any of that stuff collided. Um, then I would calculate the new common values. So in other words, everything's mass, position, velocity, radius again. Well, the mass would stay the same, but the positions and the velocities change on a collision. And then I would have to plug that back into the ships, the planets, the projectiles, basically every other body that I had in the thing, right? Yeah, so that just looked like it was going to become an awful lot of code. So yeah, so basically, some people have been quite helpful so far. One of the things that I saw here that I haven't read yet, I should probably quickly probably read through this together. But yeah, so somebody sent me. So basically, somebody sent. Yeah, so Passiomatic, thank you very much, Passiomatic, sent me a yes, that could work if you have a few disparate game entities. This is how I would do it. Another popular approach. Oh, okay, cool. So thank you, Passiomatic. I like that. I like that somebody like agrees with me. It's always better than having people disagree with me, especially because I'm always right. It's not true. I'm almost never right. Like, well, that's also not true. See what I mean? Anyway, so another popular approach developed in the video game industry is Entity Component and System, or ECS. In other words, instead of instead of modeling vertically a complex class hierarchy in the OO sense, to represent the various game entities from the most generic to the specific, think about various attributes, position, strength, etc., as a single component. Entities are then made as a collection of such components, which are shared or not horizontally. That sounds very interesting. Yeah, it sounds very interesting. This is a great rundown about the approach written quite some time ago, but it should mostly apply. The exploration of entity component system in Elm. Just take a few Elm syntactic changes that might appear in the source code. Okay, of course we have some packages for that. That's very, very interesting, right? So, I see our friend Wolf has basically like he has a library for everything. So he's also involved. Let's have a look here quickly. An ECS library for Elm provides an easy way to build full game using a common entity component system architecture. You see, I should have read and done some research before I started. But if I really do research, and that's all I end up doing. Okay, so let's have a look here. This looks amazing. So in an architectural, okay, so ECS is an architectural pattern that is mostly used in game development. ECS follows the composition over inheritance principle. Yeah, I must say inheritance is such a mess. That allows greater flexibility in defining entities where every object in the game scene is an entity. Enemies, bullet, vehicles, etc. Every entity consists of one or more components that add behavior or functionality. Therefore, the behavior of an entity can be changed at runtime by adding or removing components. I like that. I like it. This eliminates the ambiguity problems of deep and wide inheritance hierarchies that are difficult to understand, maintain, and extend. Common ECS approaches are highly compatible and often combined with data-oriented design techniques. See, you learn something new every day. I'm going to send this to my buddy Logan quickly. while we look at me, let me know. Alright, let me not accidentally do that whole business again. Okay, cool. So I just sent that link to Logan. By the way, if you guys are looking for a very, very good engineer to work with, I could strongly recommend Logan. I don't know if I say his, I think he says his surname differently, but Logan Bruschk, very good engineer. Enjoyed working with him a lot. Okay, so let's have a look here, right? So entity is basically entity create ECF config world, so position and velocity. Okay. I'm going to let this these ideas simmer in my mind a bit. I sort of want to actually like just keep going here on this little game. Yeah, so one thing that I've been trying to, yeah, so basically you'll see that the physics seem to be doing their thing at the moment. There's a couple of things I don't like. One of them that I don't like basically is I kind of don't like the fact that I have radial collisions. Yeah, I'm not an enormous fan of the fact that seems to be how stuff's working at the moment. I would prefer like an actual shape collision, but it sounds like it's going to be a rabbit hole, so I'm not going to go down that right now. Right, so we basically we have our planet essentially. We have our two ships. We have our two different propulsion systems. I think one thing I can quickly fix is just increase this propulsion speed of this one thing. Increment, let's say that basically. Okay, so that should make it a little bit more interesting. Alright, so you'll see this thingy basically jumps forward. And it can gain momentum, but it can immediately transfer it once more. Okay, cool. That seems to be doing the trick. Just make it a little bit faster. Let's give it 20. Should do the trick. Alright, that's not exactly high frame rate, but that's alright. Okay. Let me open up my goals here basically. Alright, so okay, so I chatted to Logan at some point, I think it was yesterday. He said I should check out the space around portals. Yeah, I should. Well, I made a note for myself that I should crock appendable better. Yeah, he also said he felt uncomfortable with my approach, but was unsure why exactly. He bought several games, so let's actually just set up some goals for today. So I think what we could do here. I would really like some beautiful graphics here, right? But I mean, super beautiful. Okay, so let's basically say make planet a beautiful gas giant. Okay, that's one thing. Make ships high res up view. We can say we can make the Arilau and the human ship. I have no idea how we could do either of these things. So what I'm thinking is, okay, so I just basically did this in the for the YouTube video. So let's actually like say Arilalalile. Oh, sorry, it's the Arilalalile. I had it completely wrong. Let's have a look here. All right, so these are, they're obviously like modeled off of the little gray men or the little green men. So let's actually like get their skiff here. I think it's called the skiff. The Arilal skiff. Okay, so I'm going to say draw something like the Arilal skiff. What is this? Starcom 2 the top view. Let's see what it comes up with. It's obviously doing something weird there. I wonder if they're doing like an embedding search on that now. Oh wow. Oh wow, that's actually quite something. Let me actually use this thing. Excellent, but more little green men. Techish. Less things you use today. Let's see if we can figure that out. Yeah, that sort of looks like a floor plan for a circular building. Let's see what it comes up with. Oh yeah, baby. Now we're cooking. Now we are cooking. Okay, so let's get that. Okay, so I got me some GIMP. I was using GIMP because I'm old. File, open, file. You can see here, downloads. There we go. Okay, so lasso. That's not too bad. Okay, but we want that basically so. Oh boy, how am I going to do this now? just asking it to do the same thing again. It did not get that right. Okay. I'm wondering if I should go a different direction with this. I obviously don't want to use their assets like out the box. I'm unclear about what exactly the licensing situation is with these guys. I wonder how the heck would I actually like. Let me ask Claude quickly. Let's see here. Use a 3D modeling program. Alright, let's go ask Perplexity. Perplexity. Let's quickly have a look here. That's me. That's interesting. Stock image resources. Unsplash offers a variety of free high-resolution spaceship images. Let's go and look at Unsplash.
It's 1840.
Unsplash. Spaceships. That simply cannot be without license. That's a trap! Okay. I don't think this is going to do the trick. Let's see quickly. It cannot be fun being a stock image company at the moment. Look here, little gray man spaceship. Nothing found. Spaceship. 8-bit.
I'm looking for a space. I'm looking for a ship in space. 8-bit. Open source. That's pretty cool. Pixel space game.
definitely looking for this from the top, basically. So let me not say, let me say 16-bit. Too few bits there. I should probably be using another thing for this. What's it called? Thingamajiggy. Sorry, hold on a second. Okay. Okay. Because I am streaming, I think I'll rather spend some of my non-streaming time looking for graphics then. This was not as straightforward as I thought it would be. Nothing is. Let's have a look-see here. Okay, so I think I'm going to abandon those goals for a later date, and I'm going to set myself another goal of projectiles. Make projectiles. Okay, so we'll use them projectiles. Okay, so trying to think, where would I make a projectile? So I would basically, okay, so the first thing is to go find the key layout for star control 2. Keyword controls. I want to see what they were. Pause, exit, emergency exit. Oh yeah, old games used to have like a boss screen where you could hit a screen and it would look like it would look like a spreadsheet, or you could emergency exit. All right, so basically up, left, right, space, main menu, conversations or combat. Okay, so up, left, right, right control, right shift. If I remember correctly, yeah, right control and right shift. So right control was primary weapon, right shift was secondary weapon. I'm just going to copy this. Okay, so one of the amazing things again is like, let's just actually say, here. It's definitely going to mess up some of these things. Oh, the game was offset by 1. I completely forgot that actually. So D Q. Okay, so I'll make that left shift. Right shift. Okay, so There was a secondary fire, so we'll have to update some of this stuff basically. So right shift, and that would be right control, left shift, and left control. Okay, so we'll see now if that's working. That is not working. JSP. Okay, so let's just quickly see here what's happening. Key pressed. Okay, so no key presses at all being registered. Oh wait, there we go. Not differentiating between different shift and control things. Okay, so let's just make that F and G. Okay, the wrong thing. That's why. Boom, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, cool. So now if I shoot a projectile, okay, cool, looks like it's finding the projectile. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's jumping to my definitions at the moment for some reason. Let's just find that out. Preview. Sometimes the Elm language server just needs a good old restart. Yeah, let's try to restart it. Why am I confused about what's up here again now? So just quickly prove this thing. going to be right back. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Sorry for the wait there. I hope I still have my one viewer. Let's quickly see here. Where are my chats? Where are my chats? Docs, chats, baby. View. Stats. Just quickly see here. I need to find my. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna find it over here. See what you people are saying about me. Let's quickly go here. View channel. Live. Do we still have one concurrent viewer? Just gonna say hey there. Okay. Chuck this over here. Okay, well this thing is now seriously confused. Okay, anyway. Let's quickly reload that. At the same time, I just mute it. Ah, darn it. Looks like we lost our one live viewer. Anyway, okay. Sorry for that. It's hectic if it's such a small community I'm streaming to, I guess. Anyway, all right, so where was I? I was basically like on firing projectiles and I was trying to get my Elm language server to work. Damn it, Elm language server, why you do me like that while I'm live? Well, anyway, let's have a look. Okay, so it's just quickly compiling. Hopefully it picks it up soon. No Elm workspace contains frontend.elm. Okay, let's see if that changes now. It's still saying that. What is this? No workspace contains error. Let's see if we could restart the language server. The language server has not been kind to me of late. Ah, I spoke too soon. It's back on my side. Oh. Okay, so let's have a quick look here. I wanted to be firing projectiles, so let's quickly see here. Get it right. So I have that. So now what I obviously need to do is I need to generate a projectile. So find the ship, generate the appropriate projectile. Okay, so so there's the ship. There is no fire projectile method. So do projectile. Okay, so let's go here to. Okay, so we're going to add this to our ship. Call that ship fire projectile. Alright, so this thing has if it's not a ship, just return body. The ship fire projectile, however, doesn't return that, so so ship fire projectile, I guess, would return maybe body. And like if it's not a ship, then it just basically returns nothing. If it is a ship, it returns the, can't return that, it'll have to return the projectile. So, how do we generate the projectile? So we can say case ship dot, let's just go look at what our ship types are. Okay, so we basically have a currently really only have one. Because I'm just going to say type dot projectile type equals, there we go, bullet or laser. So let's call that kinetic, and let's call that photonic. There we go. That's what we're talking about, baby. That's what we are talking about. Plug this bad boy in. Okay. Alright, so kinetic stuff would basically have like damage and lifetime. And then photonic, I guess, would have damage and, let's say, range. Okay, so projectile. Okay, so body type could be a projectile, but projectile type. So projectile type, I guess. That doesn't look good, but okay, let's put it in there. Okay, so the beauty of L. Now we just go to where everything has turned red. Okay, so let's start off with physics though, because that's where some of the stuff has turned red. So okay, so if it's kinetic, we basically return a something that starts at the so if it's kinetic, we basically return a okay, so we say body type kinetic. The kinetic would have basically, okay, so this doesn't really like have a lifetime. Kinetic is a lifetime. Okay. So let's see. So let's put this here what it's up to. Okay, so we are going to start this projectile at the same position. We're going to give it its existing velocity. So she did this. So we'll give it a damage, we'll give it a lifetime, and we'll give it a initial velocity. Initial velocity. So okay, so this is probably what these guys were talking about, because now the projectile type and this projectile type are sort of like colliding with one another. Okay, well, let's see if we can still hack it together there. Okay, let's have a look here. So, okay, photonic 0, just projectile. So something wrong. Radius equals 2. Alright, cool. We have real projectiles. weird. Why is it giving me this? Well, this is a good place to pause and ponder my life decisions.
It's 19 hours.
Okay, sure. Okay, so if we fire a projectile, then what ends up happening is we check if it's a ship. If it is a ship, we basically look up if there is a initial velocity, which we ignore if it's there. Hold on, this has the initial velocity. Okay, so that whole business there is unnecessary. Let's just do that. So initial velocity. Oh, Dylan, thank you so much. Such a good program you wrote. Distance range. Let's just have a look there. So okay, we're going to try and ignore that for the time being. Let's see what this did to the code. Fire projectile is still not implemented. So what do we call this? So ship fire projectile. Okay, so ship underscore fire projectile. Let's have a look. So new projectile is that thing. So now basically new bodies are table dot insert maybe. Let's just go and then, so that should give us one. Yeah, that's correct. So let's just fill that in. Just want to go stick to my existing business there. Okay, right, so this is complaining. Okay, right, so the ship here, what we want is we want a, this is a little grey Mentec, so they have volcanic weapons. And these are, they have kinetic weapons. Let's give them some speed at least beyond the. Okay, so ID. Okay, let's just see there. So damage, lifestyle, initial budget. Okay, cool. Yeah, there we go. Look at that, people. We have pew pew. We have pew pew. We have lots of kinetic pew pew. Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew. Okay, let's just see if does this thing fire in the right direction. Okay, it just keeps firing in the same direction. See, that's why we need lifetimes, basically. So I assume it's very, very like slow on your ends. Okay, but I mean, all of these bodies basically like now have interactive gravity with one another, so this is pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty performant still. I should probably only have large bodies actually like that have mass at least like interact with each other, and these things with lifetimes definitely need to go away. But let's fix one thing at a time. Let's fix the amount of. Just quickly refresh this because it's killing the machine. Okay, right, we'll give that a moment and refresh physics. What we should do is rename this to initial speed. Way too slow like approach I'm using right now. Ugh. So let's see what happens if we upsize it. Well, that's interesting. So basically, we okay, we should definitely get the ticks to well, this is studio. What's going on here? This thing died on me now. Oh, there we go. It's up. Okay, so obviously I'm already encountering another problem there. Is basically like the lifetime thing is an issue. So the thing is, if we're looking at a projectile, we're basically like saying projectile like so. We basically say case projectile of kinetic lifetime, yada yada yada. Body. Just have a look here. So So this is getting super confusing actually. So this might be, we might have confirmed that this is a wrong rabbit hole to go down. Okay. All of that. Think through it on my own. So if a body is a projectile, this is relevant. If a projectile is kinetic, this is relevant. So the lifetime case is the lifetime like that to update. So it basically means that the body type would need to be upgraded. Body type is projectile. Record here, alright, so that might actually work. So, okay, cool. So basically, alright, so maybe it wasn't that bad. I have to think through this. So, update the body. If the body is a projectile, and if the projectile is kinetic, then we basically update the lifetime. Say minus. Right, and we actually want to say if equivalent lifetime is less than 0, we want to return nothing, else we want to return just this, else we want to return just that. Just that. Okay. So now if we update the lifetimes, basically get a identity. Okay, cool. Let's get a filter map into my table thing here. By the way, I built this table thingy majiggy. So not even gonna work. This did not have filter map. It does not have filter map. So table does not make perfect sense. So let's just go with that. Okay, so physics, Lamdera. Oh, there we go. Okay, so okay, so it's the body type. Comes that. Okay, so if it wasn't for the AI, I'm not really sure I would have been able to get that quite that smooth. So let's see. Okay, let's have a look. What happens if we Okay, cool. So it definitely like has a lifetime now. Hoeveel minuten? Ja. Oké. Geef me 2 minuten is daar. Oké. Cool. Onze chili zonder eigen tomaatjes. Okay, cool. Yep. All right, let's have a look here. Right, so let's just see if this is at all possible for a human to reason through. Right, so the thing is we update the lifetime of a thing. So we look at a body, if it's a projectile, and it is a kinetic, and that projectile is type kinetic, then we basically return if its lifetime is less than 0. So in other words, it's expired, then we return nothing else. We return just the body that we got in with an updated body type, where that is the case. Where basically we have the projectile, so we have the body type of projectile, which is of type kinetic. Basically has that. Yeah, that ECS system might actually end up being the correct way to go here. Anywho, let's quickly see if this business works out. Right, so we can shoot ourselves. Okay, so I think that projectile has too much initial momentum. Let's give it a bit less. Let's just give it an initial speed of 1 pixel per frame. Oh, how cool are these physics, huh? Now that's an interesting propulsion system. So obviously, like, there's something wrong with the kinetics at the moment. So that, if I fire a whole bunch, it actually accelerates me forward. But you can sort of see they originate at the center, which isn't where they're supposed to originate. So shift fire projectile position. Dot. Yep. Okay, cool. That's a lot. Okay, cool. That timer says I gotta go eat. Yeah, thanks for watching. Whoever watched, apologies for being AFK for that moment.